you want me to get close to you, just tell me what to do, tell me what to do. If you want me to take over, just give me the green light, just give me the green light. If you want me to get close to you, just tell me what to do, tell me what to do. If you want me to take over, just give me the green light, just give me a sign, just give me the green light.
If you want me to get close to you, just tell me what to do, tell me what to do. If you want me to take over, just give me the green light, just give me a sign. If you want me to get close to you, just tell me what to do, tell me what to do. If you want me to take over, just give me the green light, just give me the green light.
If you want me to get close to you, just tell me what to do, tell me what to do. If you want me to take over, just give me the green light, just give me the green light.
If you want me to get close to you, just tell me what to do, tell me what to do. If you want me to take over, just give me the green light, just give me the green light. I've waited long enough and given up hope. Whoa, whoa. Takes a lot for me to break down my walls. Whoa. Every time you catch me say that I don't believe in love, you always try to change my mind. And even though my heart is scorned, you're always there for me to hold. You never had to change your heart.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Banana Bread Trades. My name is Goose. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. I hope we're all ready for another fantastic week. Yeah, we spent some time this weekend and got the stream a little upgraded. Last night, it was like 7:30 last night. I was like, I'm ready for bed. And then I was like, well, let's go downstairs and play on the computer for a bit. And then I was like, you know what? I should download Streamlabs. So I did that and I messed around with that for a bit. And now we're a little bit more fancy. I even upgraded my background on Quan Tower. We're all fancy now. We got fancy backgrounds. Alright, I need to refresh as well. So, I hope everyone had a great weekend. I hope everyone's ready for a great week. We had a bit of a gap down overnight. I am refreshing my charts here. I left my rhythmic on and then put my computer to sleep. Let me turn the music down just slightly. There we go. Put my computer to sleep, and when you do that, apparently it only loads like the overnight stuff Kind of a nasty news week this week. Let me pull up. I'm trying to get one other thing working too. Always show messages. Doors. Oh, there, it's working. It's supposed to stay on though. Hold on, I'm fixing the. Maybe there we go. Maybe there we go. I don't know. Well, there we go. Now it's popping up on the screen. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted the chat to pop up on screen. There we go. FOMC minutes Wednesday. FOMC again? I guess it's just minutes, but CPI jobs Thursday, retail sales, consumer retirement, or consumer sentiment, not retirement. 5-year inflation expectations Friday. Damn FOMC. They were relentless. Let's refresh this last one. Yeah, a lot of stuff this week. Let's pull up our news with Decoy for today. This is today. Nothing important today, at least. So today should at least be a normal day. Just two guys talking. This one should be pre-recorded, so nothing exciting. Should be chilling. Should be chilling. Let's see here. Yeah. Now we got the stream looking how we want it to. Let this daily chart load here. Oh, you're gonna start trading ES this week. Welcome to the dark side. Looks like we did fill the gap overnight, so let's zoom in here. I'll make sure I'm looking at it where you guys can see. Yeah, we filled the gap from last night and sold right off of it. Decoy's going back to M and Q. How dare you? How dare you? When the market gets really slow, I like to trade in Q, but still for right now, I'm very much enjoying ES. I'm enjoying just getting my one trade a day and kind of being done, hitting it with leverage. Every once in a while, I'll get the two trades. But. Okay, overnight. So let's take a look at the overnight here. Let's do some overnight looking. So let me move my face out of the way here. Okay. So, oh, I grabbed the wrong thing. There. All right. Overnight. I'm gonna have to make chat small too. Just move you out of the way for now. Okay. Overnight, very balanced. We have a good taper to both sides. POC right in the middle. This is the most balanced overnight I've seen in a while, honestly. Zoom out. Yeah, this is an extremely balanced overnight. Let's look at the daily. And then let's pull up Volume analysis, show toolbar, right profile. I want to see current month. Also want to see current month. I want to be blue. Previous month. I want to. We'll let that load for a minute. I'll put you back to small. Move my face back to where you people can see it. Same with the chat box. There we go. Yeah, that was also my problem with NQ as well, is you just got to run a wider stop with NQ relative. I mean, if you think about it monetarily wise, a $150 stop on NQ is what, 7-8 points, and then a $150 stop on ES is 3 points, right? So with NQ you just have to run a little bit wider stop. The book is thinner, there's less volume, so it's gonna be a little bit more wiki to all directions. Next big Apex deal, I'll grab a 50K account and do 5 point. Yes, yeah. Yeah, you're on the 25K right now, which is a little tight. You gotta have a little less leverage. I got two 50Ks and I die here. Having two 50Ks is pretty nice because you can kind of distribute that leverage a little bit between the two. Yeah, so you're not risking too much. 15-point stop with 3 MNQ. That's what I used to do. Like, that's literally how I used to trade all the time. I would use that. I'd use 15-point stop, 30-point take profit, and I just trade zone to zone. You know, you'd go to your support and resistance lines. They'd be, you look at the harmonic rotation of NQ, and it's usually anywhere from like 40 to 50. So if you catch a bottom right at your zone, you should expect a rotation of about 40 to 50 points, right? That's what a harmonic rotation is. So you could usually be pretty safe with a 30-point take profit. That even if you didn't perfectly nail the bottom, you should still get your 30 points. Or sometimes take less. Like sometimes I would take less as well. Ugh. Yeah, scaling out is very nice. That's the one thing I don't like about minis, is I don't like being able to not hold a runner. You know, if I feel like I caught a bottom and I gotta take my 5 points. But trading with 5 MES is just, the commissions will just eat you alive if you take a couple trades a day. So, not a big commish fan of the commish. It's not like I take that many trades a day anyway, where it wouldn't matter, but it's just like, let's just get our 5 points and get out, you know? And if we catch a trade that we really, really like, maybe we can put a stop or like a break even in. But like I said, with the stats that I did, I left so much money on the table in the past by not just taking my profit with higher leverage. But like I said, I did a whole long study of my 2021 year, and the amount of trades I took that went 5 points, at least 5 points or more, was like a super high statistic. And then the amount of trades I took that went past 5, but then came back to break even because I didn't just take it, was also super high. So I was like, well, I did the math on like what I could have made if I had just taken 5 points and then used higher leverage. And I was like, well, that's a way I would have made more money had I used higher leverage, and then the hit rate was a lot higher. So that's what I switched to. I'm just using more leverage and shooting for less points. Like I said, that's not for everyone either. That was just my my personal stats, right? And I think it's important that you keep track of all your stats. Like if you have Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets or whatever, just keep track of all your stats. Like what time of day you took them, how many points they went for, like, and then like a little why you took it, and was it a winner, you know? And just kind of keep track of all of that, and it will help you in the long run, especially like after a couple months of trading. You look back at it and you're like, oh wow, that was like, I should have been doing this. And then you just keep, it helps you see for sure like what's going on. It's just really not wanting to load monthly, which is fine. It's a lot of data to pull. Let's flip back over here overnight. Pop you back up. So overnight, like I said, we're super balanced right now. Let me move my face again, move chat out of the way. We're super balanced right now. Right in the middle. We might get some pompage. That's why I kind of wanted the weekly to pull up. Oh no, Decoy's leaving us. Decoy, no! Previous week. Wonder if I can pull the previous week. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. We'll see. Data's just been loading really slow this morning, but yeah, very, 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 very balanced overnight. Kind of in this console zone here. So no trade I'm gonna take inside this console zone, right? I'm gonna wait for initial balance to post. I posted a little video over initial balance the other night. I just clipped it from the stream. But I'll definitely wait for initial balance to post just because of all this consolidation that's going on right here. That's not really something I want to pop right into. Because I don't really know I don't have a bias on which direction we're going to go from here. We could pop, and I'm assuming we probably pop out of it and then drop and go lower. But like I said, I don't know. I'll wait for initial balance to post and then play off that. Oh, well, thank you. Glad you liked it. It wasn't super in-depth. It was just kind of a quick overview of like what initial balance is and some examples and how I like to trade it. I'll do a more in-depth one with like everything later. I just haven't had time. This week I'd like to get some shorts out. Some like quick like 1-minute videos on how, like, quick initial balance one, a quick footprint one, probably one talking about prop firms. Really quick 1-minute easy informational stuff. Get those on the shorts algo, get them to pop off. Hopefully bring a few more subs or just more viewers to the stream. Oh yeah, power trades one too. Yeah, I think on Friday we had some ballin' power trades. Let's smallen this. Let's largen this one. Let's go back and look. Power trades is still loading. Okay, we'll let power trades load. Once power trades loads, then we'll be able to see. The previous day. Let me pull up Oh, it's new week's opening range. Up. Yeah, once Power Trades loads here, everything's just loading really slow. Probably because I'm pulling volume profile and Power Trades at the same time. I'm going to blow my nose real quick, and then we'll go over some levels. Okay, we're back. Yeah, fancy. Okay, so let's go over yesterday or Friday's opening range. Wow, this is all loaded. Did our Power Trades finish? Still not finished. Big, and then we'll go to Friday. Friday sold off pretty hard. Let me get my drawing tools. Oh, you got the demo for AMP? Hell yeah. Because the AMP is nice. Once you get AMP 2, I think you have to put like $500 or whatever in their account. But once you do that, you get all like Quan Tower's features for free. They charge $5 for ES live data. Yeah, but like anywhere you go, they're gonna charge you for CME data. That's just kind of a standard for live data, at least. That's you're gonna get stuck with a fee wherever. So $5 really isn't too bad. I'm gonna make these. Make these like blue, thick. These will be our opening range. Oh, that's too dark. Oh, Rhythmic doesn't charge for the demo. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I feel that. And then let's see here. 8. This is our opening range low. Okay, so here's our opening range from Friday. And this played out just so swimmingly. As you can see, we sold off. Here's open. Open's like right here. We quick little pump and then just sold off pretty hard. I didn't trade it all the first hour. I waited the whole first hour. Let's see here. About at the 30-minute mark after open, we got a little bit of bounce. Again, I'm still flat. And then I did stab along at the retest. I think I ended up getting break even though. I don't think I got my 5 points out of the long off the bounce of initial balance low. and then we broke through. We broke back through with a power trade. I know a power trade showed up here. I know it's not showing here, but we did get a power trade on this breakthrough. So once that happened, I was all short bias, and then like I said, we just sold off the rest of the day. What I really wanted was a nice clean retest of initial balance low. We never got it, right? It kind of fizzled out before it could get there, and that's fine. I missed that trade as well. I think I only nailed one short right at the end of the day, and I got this one right here. Oh, hey, there, our power trade showed up. So yes, like I said, first 30 minutes, we get this pretty nasty sell-off coming down here. We catch this power trade. Again, I haven't traded yet. We bounce at the 30-minute mark, come back down, tried along here, didn't work out. Then we come back. I tried along here, and I didn't get it just because we didn't quite go 5 points from where I entered. Come back, we break through with a power trade. Like I said, this power trade becomes my short level or my zone that I'm interested in shorting. Are you going to work, Jim? Have a good day. I love you. All right, my girlfriend's going to gym. So this power trade also lining up with initial balance is really, really nice. That lets us know that the big players are watching it as well. So I'm looking for a short at this power trade. Also initial bounce low. Didn't get it. It comes up way short. Not necessarily way short, but we didn't get into that power trade. And I was being patient and waiting for it, thinking that we would get a wick up into it, and I was going to get short. Never got it, and I didn't want to take that extra drawdown. So I missed it, and that's okay. I nailed another short like over here on this little rippy boy here, just thinking that we wouldn't make a new high, and I got that one, but I took it with pretty light leverage. So Friday I didn't make much, but like I said, I didn't get the one big trade that I really wanted, and the other trade that I attempted got break even, which is fine. Some days we have days like that. And overall, my whole week last week was great. So to have a small day on Friday that's not a red day, I'll take it. It's okay to have small days if you don't get the setup that you want. The whole thing with trading is like some days you're not going to get a trade, some days you're going to get a lot of trades. Be patient and wait for something that's super clear. All right, the one that was super clear to me was this retest, and I didn't get it. And that's okay, because today I might get 2 opportunities or 3 opportunities. This retest right here to me was super clear at the time. I know Footprint looked good at it, and it gave me every reason to long. I got a few points out of it, but I didn't get the whole. I think I got wicked out. I didn't get my full 5. Oh, good morning, Mr. Cass. How are you today? How is Mr. Cass? I didn't see you last week. I also didn't stream for 2 days last week, and then we had a little bit of a very short stream on Friday. But what's brackin', bro? How you living? We're going over yesterday's initial balance, which was pretty beautiful. These 2 blue lines, that was our initial balance. But we didn't get a trade out of it. Sitting in the garden. That sounds like so nostalgic. Browsing in from your phone while sitting in the garden. That's a vibe. It's still dark here. I'm in my basement. No, all is good here. Hey, we'll see you, Mr. Viper. You have a good lunch. Oh, Mr. Cass, did you have a good week last week, Mr. Cass? How did you vibe? How How was the Z vibes? Oh, we're so over. I'll show you the longer time frame chart here. Let me make it big. So big boy here. We are in a very balanced. This right here is all overnight. So this is Globex, or this is open last night, and to now we're in a very balanced overnight session. We got a taper to both sides. I'm assuming we pop a little higher and then continue down. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's part of it though, you know. The big thing for me when trading is, like, I have another job right now too, so it takes that pressure off trading a little bit, where like I don't feel like I need to trade or need to make money, so it allows me to be a little more patient, I guess. Like if I blow all my accounts right now, I'll be fine. I'll be sad, but I'll be fine. So that's a little bit of a little bit of an ease that I have, I guess. The COVID fill idea, yeah, I mean, I think it's more or less just because I don't see any more upside reasons, and it's not that far away, right? 3405, we've already broken to 3500s, so I don't think there's any reason we don't hit pre-COVID unless something wild gets announced here soon. Oops, that was inconvenient. I accidentally moved my marker back. There we go. Yeah, I just don't see any reason for us to not hit pre-COVID unless some great news comes out. It's not that much farther down. I think we get a relief bounce and then probably go down and smack it. And then once we hit pre-COVID levels, it's gonna be wild. We'll also be at the bottom of this trend line. Sorry, my nose is getting me. I'm gonna sneeze. We'll also be at the bottom of this trend line though when we hit the pre-COVID high. So I'm assuming we will get a pretty good relief bounce once we clap that high. Like that's a pretty big level that I'm looking at. I'll be watching volume and structure pretty heavily there, and I might even buy a call, to be honest, at the pre-COVID high. If we go back and clean out the pre-COVID low, I might poop myself, honestly. That would be so much. Like that is basically, that's more than doubling the sell-off we have now. I don't think we go that low. But at pre-COVID high, I already have, so I think right here, I bought a leap call like 3 years out. And then if, like I said, if we get pre-COVID high, I might buy another leap call just because like that's such a discount. Why not? And it's a couple years out. I expect us to be at all-time high within the next 2 to 3 years anyway. So I'll be deep in the money by then. Now, if we don't make all-time high within the next 2 to 3 years, that would honestly just be wild to have that long of a recession. I mean, we can pull up a longer time frame chart here. Turn off right profile. It's being poopy. In 2008, I think it was all the way. It was like a 2-year recession, but it's not like it went down though, right? It just didn't go up. Like, it was just very flat. But after the initial sell-off, right? And things are like so much more volatile now. I'll let this thing load. It might take a bit. My quant tower's been very slow. Or not my quant tower, but my rhythmic's slow. What's going on? There we go. Rhythmic's been very cool. Oh, we got a nice triple top here, unfinished auction. We're definitely gonna pop higher. Not really sure where we pop to. I don't have any upper zone target toys. Rhythmic is just garbage. Like, my amp loads just fine every day, but Rhythmic loads so slow. Okay, now we're up. Go. Why didn't it pull? Being dumb. CQG? Yeah. I think you'd use CQG. I think they're like partners. Maybe. I couldn't tell you for sure. All I know is that I use AMP. For my personal account. Why won't you let me see the data? I hate Rhythmic so much. Like I said, I only use Rhythmic for the I only use Rhythmic for the two funded accounts, which is fine for those. But AMP on the personal is pretty nice. What a nice little rollover there. I wish that we didn't have that double top. I'd like the short. But we got, I guess, triple top. We got that triple top, 2 unfinished auctions. Pretty heavy unfinished auctions too. So definitely not interested in either one of those. I'll move my face back over here. There we go. Nothing too interesting. I think you missed it too. This week's pretty heavy with news as well. We got FOMC minutes on Wednesday. Let's see, what did Decoy say? Let me pull it up. FOMC minutes Wednesday, CPI and jobs Thursday, retail sales, consumer sentiment, 5-year inflation expectations on Friday. So Wednesday through Friday is going to be pretty busy as far as news goes. But today and tomorrow should be fine. Today should trade pretty normally, I would expect. With this really balanced overnight session, it's nice to see a really nice balanced overnight session like this. I think we'll have a pretty nice day to day as far as like trade opportunities. We're not too heavy one way or the other. When the volume profile is weighted real heavy one way or the other, it gives me too much of a bias going into the day. But when it's nice and balanced like this, lets me be completely unbiased. And like I said, I'll wait for initial balance to post before I get in anything. And we'll have like I said, just having that patience for the first hour is pretty nice. Gives us a good amount of time to get set up and everything. That was such a nice roll at the top. Yeah, like I said, until it's really hard to be unbiased. Like even right now, I'm still short biased in the long term. You know, when we look at, you know, the big daily and everything, I'm still very, very short biased. Still very short biased overall. But I realize where we are on the chart. We're still kind of low on the daily chart. So we could have some relief pump. And I'm being aware that we could have relief pump. So I'm not holding any shorts. I usually have a level on the day that I look at. And I'm like, hey, this level is the level that will trigger a short squeeze. But that usually entails my initial balance as well. right? If we get above initial balance, I'm assuming short squeeze uptrend for the rest of the day, just because it shows buyers are present if initial balance high holds. But I'm playing the short side of initial balance high almost every time until it breaks. And then I'm being weary of longing initial balance low, right? I'm usually looking for that to break and then shorting the retest. Like Friday, shorting the retest of initial balance low if we get the opportunity. So, honestly, I think in this bear market that we're in, me being patient for initial balance, it helps me not get chopped up in that first hour. In a really bull market, it's pretty, in my opinion, I've just traded it longer, so the bull market first hour for me is easier to trade just because I'm used to seeing it. But bear market, like I said, we haven't had that much bear market, and it's usually a lot more icky in a way. Like yesterday's, and we get a lot more back and forth, right? Yesterday was pretty good, just straight down. But a lot of times we get that full kickflip 180 reversal in that first hour in a bear market, and I'm just not a big fan. So if I just let that first hour work out and then trade accordingly, works out a little better for me. You saw the video? I'm glad you liked it. It was just cut. Honestly, I cut that right out of my Friday stream. There was like no one watching, and it was like towards the end of the stream. I was like, I'll just make a quick like 15-minute tutorial here. I had some examples from the Discord that were saved. I've been screenshotting initial balance for a while now, so I was like, I got an example of kind of every type of day. So I could make a quick little overview of what initial balance is, what it looks like, and kind of how you can use it to trade. They say initial balance is literally my bread and butter trade. Banana bread, of course. But initial balance is my bread and butter type of trade, or at least knowing to identify trend days or range days. That's the big thing. For me, being able to identify a range day helps me a lot, because range days are usually my worst days. Yeah, like I said, I'll continue screenshotting them and everything. I'm gonna put out more educational stuff as well. Like this week, I'd like to push a few shorts, because I'll actually be here all week. Last week I was gone for half the week. I'd like to push some shorts as far as like power trades. I'd like to do an initial balance one, footprint, talk about prop firms in one, maybe volume analysis. Just a couple quick 1-minute tutorials, and then put those into the shorts feed. Shorts feed is pretty good about getting it out there and getting a little bit more views. Range days are actually so there's going to be chop days, and those days are usually just pretty gross all around. But like the actual range day, before initial balance, I had usually struggled with identifying the range, I guess, like the high and low of the range initially, right? I wouldn't know it's the range until it's like the third or fourth try, and it's like, oh well, now this is a clear range now, but it's too late to play the range, right? Where the initial balance, usually the range is within the initial balance, so it gives me more of a level to look at in a way. Because I love playing trend continuation plays, Like one of my other favorite plays is, let's say we get above initial balance and we rip all the way until, usually like around lunchtime, I guess, my lunchtime, 3 hours before close, we'll kind of have that lull in volume, and we might have a pull back And then into the last hour of the day, volume will return and we'll continue the uptrend. That's usually the play I like to do on a trend day. That'll be what I'll do is I'll wait. If we get really far above initial balance, I'll wait first to get above initial balance and then maybe catch a long. Let me just draw an example real quick. Let me open up my snipping tool. And I do the same to the short side as well. But I'll show a quick example what I like to do. So just pretend this is our initial balance and pretend price was. Let's pretend price got above initial balance and ripped real hard. And now this is 12 noon. My time. Right, this is noon my time. So 3 hours before close. Right, then we kind of get this lull in volume. It pulls back. It'll pull back all the way till about, I don't know, 1-ish or 2-ish. Right before power hour. Generally, it pulls back pretty close to initial balance. And this is around like this area right here is where I like to look for longs into power hour. And I might scale into like a lighter leverage long, or if we get down to initial balance, I'll hit it heavy and I'll play the long back to make a new high a day. Because statistically, high a day is made most often in the first 2 hours or the last hour of the day. So I'm usually pretty confident that on an uptrend day like this, where we're had so much buying and got so far above initial balance, that we'll have a move back to high a day. I've just seen it a lot, so I really like playing that move. During lunch, which is during lunchtime I don't like doing too much trades. Like I said, this time right here is usually pretty low volume. Usually, like I said, lately lunchtime's been pretty good, but it's just usually a little bit low volume, so it's a little bit more grindy. Do you mean the directional move that often comes up around the Europe closing hour? No, so that would still be over here. So Europe close would be probably closer to here. So I'll walk you through 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. is my market open. So then 2 hours after market open would be Euro open. So it'd be around 10:30 right here. Or Euro close, I mean. Euro close. Right, so then we have like this 4-hour block almost between Euro close and power hour. Right, so generally we kind of rip a little bit longer up until noon, and then that 2 hours before power hour we'll get a little bit of a sell-off. Yeah, the time zone things are difficult. It's weird, especially because you're on the other side of the planet, so it's like afternoon for you or evening for you. But like I said, it's afternoon for Euros. But yeah, so back to what we were saying, like that. Basically, I wait for a long right before power hour, and usually have a pull back pretty good on those uptrend days. That's the move I like looking for. On an uptrend day, at least, like this right here. This is kind of the textbook uptrend day for me, at least. Especially like when we were in that COVID rally, that was like the exact play. You could do that play 4 days out of the week because we had just so much rippage every day. Like, let's pull up the daily here. day. Make you big. Pull this over. But yeah, the every single day during COVID was just almost always a rip. And then we'd have the occasional red day, but there was just so much it was just such a solid uptrend. I guess you're right. That would be a good idea. I'm gonna blow my nose real quick. Okay, we're back. Sorry, had to blow my nose. My allergies are getting a lot better though. It's starting to get to where a little bit of that stuff that I'm allergic to has died. It's no longer blooming. A little bit past that now. Yeah, you are right. That would be a good idea for a quick. That'd be a really good short video idea. I'm actually gonna write that down and save that. Thank you, Cass. Giving me ideas and stuff. We'll be vibing. But yeah, kind of a little bit of a bummer though on the overnight deal. I'm not gonna get any trades in. Not gonna get any trades in this free market here. Nothing I'm gonna want. Not with this much balance, right? We were a B or P profile in the overnight. It's a lot easier to play that move back to VWAP. But when it's really balanced like this, I'm almost expecting like a breakout one way or the other. No, if we get a break of this triple top, right, and get up here, then maybe I could play the short back to VWAP. But until that top breaks, I can't really do anything. I'm kind of forced to sit on my hands. So we're gonna be just chilling until then. Oops, not what I wanted. There we go. So what I do need to check though is overnight low. Oh, decoy's back. Yeah, well, don't mature not to force random trades. Well, see, we learned that through hardship though. We've only gotten wrecked so many times by taking random trades, forcing trades. You learn the hard way. Overnight low. So this is what we wanted to check here. Overnight low at 36.18. That is an unfinished auction. So I would expect that to get filled. Like I said, I expect us to pop. I expect us to pop the triple top. Maybe test yesterday's initial balance, or no, Friday's initial balance low. And then maybe continue to the downside. Maybe pop higher. Be real interesting. This 36.71 level, that'll be definitely a level that I will be watching. And with this much balance, this much volume overnight, a lot of buyers and sellers being accumulated, I'm looking for a pretty good sized move today. But I think it's going to be a fun day as far as setups go. I could be wrong. Could be a super gross, shitty day. Yeah, what's the temp where you're at, Decoy? It was pretty chilly. Wasn't too chilly here this weekend in Kansas. I think we've been ranging around like the 60s to 70s. Like good hoodie weather. Hoodie and shorts weather. The optimum temperature. But I know you live way up north. Yeah, like all the leaves in my backyard are red and falling, and my backyard's just a mess because I have to. There's so many leaves. Oh my gosh. You know, to be honest, I couldn't tell you how it's spelled either. I think you're right with the V. Leaves. Leaves. English is weird though, dude. Whoever designed our language just hated us. This baloney shouldn't be a word. Colonel. Baloney. Those are just English atrocities. Yeah, see, there's the other thing with the English language. They're both the same word. And they have two different meanings for the same word, right? See, look at this. Leaves. But also, there's people leaving as well. Oh, that's actually just a type. Oh. They're just giving you all different types of leaves. But yeah, this is leaves here. But it also means he leaves you. Because the English language is just dumb altogether. We need to be more like the Japanese and just have a symbol for each word. Like each word has its own symbol or phrase. Same thing with German. It's actually funny. So in Kansas, Hays, Kansas is actually a very, very, very German town, right? Like a big German colony moved to Kansas and settled in Hays, Kansas. And every year they have their own German festival. They call it Oktoberfest as well. But it's nothing but all sorts of like German food, German themed stuff. Like it's wild. But everyone's like very, very German. Like the names too. Like all the names in Hays are very German. Do I go there? So I'm a production engineer I manage 250 oil and gas wells, right? And most of my wells for my area are around Hays, like Alice County up through Phillipsburg County. So Hays is like the big town in that area. Let me pull up the map. So I live here in Wichita, Kansas, right? So we go over to Hays, Kansas. Hays, Kansas right here. This is one of the only big towns. As you can see, there's not a lot of big towns in Kansas, right? Hays is a college town. It's really not that big. As you can see, Hays isn't that big, but that's like one of our big cities in Kansas. But most oil and gas wells I deal with are all in this area. Up through Phillipsburg. There's like not a lot of stuff up here, really. Phillipsburg, that's where you get into some weird people too. Like those textbook American hillbilly hick people that you see on the internet, they're gonna be from Phillipsburg. 100%. You know, it's crazy. I can pull up I can show you just exactly where the wells are here too. I don't know why I have my caps long. Mexico. Oh, it's EI. This is one of my wells that I manage. So all of these dots here, these are all oil wells. I'm gonna zoom out here. And it's gonna load. When they say the United States has a lot of oil wells and is really obsessed with oil, yeah. Like a majority of Kansas is oil wells. We'll see if this loads. I might break it. We haven't even zoomed out to Wichita yet. There's Wichita. So there's where I'm at right here. And then here's Hayes. This might take a minute to load. But it's going to be hundreds of thousands of oil wells. I'll pull it off while it loads. It might take a while. Maybe I just need to zoom in. Oh, it should load with it zoomed out. Maybe not. So every 330 feet you can put an oil well, right? So that's the rule. You have to be 330 feet away from a road, and each oil well has to be spaced 330 feet away from each other. And the way those reservoirs work is, so think about it. Actually, I'll just give you a quick demonstration. So all the oil in the United States, or not in the United States, but all the oil in Kansas is actually formed in the Woodford Shale right here, right? So there's a point where the layer of sedimentary rock, this is, let me see if I can pull up a picture of subduction. Yeah, image of subduction here. So you have two tectonic plates pushing against each other, right? Let me see if I can find a really good example here. That's not in the ocean. I guess they're all gonna be in the ocean. That's an even harder image to understand. We'll just pick it easy up here, I guess. So you have two tectonic plates pushing against each other right here. Like this is a good one here. You have two tectonic plates pushing against each other right here, right? So all your organic material that gets pushed way down here, it's going to be exposed to really, really high heat and pressure. And because of that high heat and pressure to the organic material, that makes oil, right? That oil is being formed down here, and this down here is being formed down here in Oklahoma, right? There's a tectonic plate that runs right here. Then that oil is it's lighter, it's really light density. So it's going to migrate upwards to a place of less pressure and everything. So that oil is migrating from down here up towards Kansas. So all of our oil in Kansas wasn't actually made in Kansas. It was made down here, Oklahoma, Texas, migrated up to Kansas. So because of that, you may miss, like, so the oil's up through here, but depending on the geology of it, the highs and lows of how the structure forms, you may be really close, but you go 330 feet away, you may be higher and hit a whole different reservoir, right? Yeah, exactly. Let's get our bags and get that oil. The problem is Kansas is pretty well drilled, as you can tell. They drilled Kansas pretty heavy. These clear circles here, these are spots where they drilled and they didn't hit oil. So the black ones are the ones where they hit oil. The white ones are dry holes, is what they call them. And then the red circle ones, those are gas wells where they don't make oil, they just make gas. But yeah, they drill them very, very tight spacing. You can see there's just so many oil wells. that have been drilled in this area. And so these ones with the slash through them, these ones with the slash, these are wells that were drilled, produced, and then plugged. That means they don't make as much oil now, or they didn't make enough oil to be economical. So just the big circle ones, those are the only ones that are left, right? So they drilled all these wells trying to find the highest point, or the area with the most porosity and permeability. And then once they found those areas, they plugged off the other wells, and they're just producing the really, really good areas. Or these areas here weren't producing enough. Or some of them, the other one is they'll inject water into the zone and push the oil. So like over here, they got an injection well, a couple injection wells. They're pushing water to these producers over here. Or they're injecting water and pushing the oil to these zones over here. So that's a little bit of oil and gas insight for you. So if you want to become oil traders now, you know how it's made in Kansas, at least. Like in Oklahoma and Texas, it's a little bit different over there because the oil is actually formed over there. So that's why Oklahoma and Texas have so much oil reserves compared to Texas, or compared to Kansas, because their oil's made there versus having to migrate all the way to Kansas. So sorry for the quick off-topic lesson. Oh, when you get me started on oil, I'm gonna give you the whole spiel. Yeah, exactly. So Kansas hillbillies just pick the fruits. The others had to plant the tree. Facts. Yeah, we did have a little bit of a VWAP bounce. This is before I woke up. Was not awake yet. So yeah, I don't know of anything else that I got as far as outlook for today. You know, we're gonna have, I think we're gonna have a big move today, but I don't have a direction. Yeah, I'm gonna shut the stream off here in a little bit. We'll see you, Mr. Cass. But I'm gonna just wait for initial balance. Yeah, we'll see you, Mr. Viper. I'm just gonna wait for initial balance, post, and then trade off of that. But other than that, I don't really have any other plans for today. I don't have any other outlook either. Like that, it's really balanced. I don't have a bias either way. So we'll just be chilling, fam. So it's about that time. I'm probably gonna go ahead and kill it. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, I guess. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Yeah, TradingView is nice for the long-term levels. I also use TradingView for my long-term levels. So we'll see you, big guy. Everyone have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
I don't know how you did it, but I need an explanation.